All right, let's talk about quantum shifting because I'm feeling exceptionally traumatized right now and I need to talk about it. And I cannot believe the video that she made about me yesterday. So, we're going to do a breakdown of it. If you're new here, my goal is to not go after like spiritual creators. I know that probably seems like a joke right now because that's probably seems like all I do. But if you didn't know, this is not what I started out doing, but this is an industry that has hurt me tremendously and I'm trying to warn other people about it. And I have run into a couple other spiritual creators on this app, and I am spiritual myself. I don't know how many times I have to say that. I got called a spiritual narcissist a bunch this morning. And it's not fun. It's not a fun thing to be called. But I'm not the spiritual narcissist, you know, and a lot of people think that autistic people are narcissistic, and it really bothers me. So I get why Madison gets so mad. It's not a fun thing to be called, especially if you believe. Like, if I was called a spiritual narcissist when I was like obsessed with Joe Dispenza, oh my God. Like, I don't blame these people for being upset with me, but like, we need to talk about it and the truth needs to come out. And this is an MLM. These are all MLMs. Literally. Like, a healer finds another healer. They want to get paid to be a healer, so they have their Akashic records read and they go start seeing a white lady shaman and they go, like, this is a very well worn path. And quantum shifting started out with, at some point at least, has worked for Herbalife, has worked for an MLM. Somebody did some digging and sent me a picture of that. But I want to explain how New Age spirituality and MLMs go together and how I believe that New Age spirituality is an MLM. How is this any different from an MLM? Seriously, look at exactly what happened with Alex. Look at what's happening with quantum shifting. And then these people make crazy amounts of money thinking that they've found the secrets to the universe, and that's all they're doing is passing those secrets onto everyone else for a small fee. That's not so small. And it's time for the world to talk about it. And this stuff is kind of just coming to the forefront. There's been people trying to talk about this for years, of course, trying to call out the appropriation, trying to call out the ableism, trying to call out the classism and all the things that come along with all of this. How is it any different than an MLM? This has been stuck in my mind. I'm sure I'm not the first person to think about this. I got these concepts from somebody on YouTube. Like, there's a lady on YouTube who made a video about how Abraham Hicks is like, she was comparing Abraham Hicks stuff to MLMs. And it was fascinating. And ever since then, and I will find that video, fascinating thought, and it's so true. And then after reading Brightsided, I'm like, this is one of the most insidious MLMs out there. This is like the prosperity gospel, you know? It's like, well, the universe wants you to be abundant. God wants you to be abundant, and you have to give freely to get freely, don't you? So pass around that basket, and everybody, it always comes back. It, like, if there's money involved, we need to really look at what we're doing with this stuff. It makes me really mad. But my mission when I got on TikTok was not to talk about this stuff. I was actually talking about some other issues that I want to get back into eventually. I took a big break from my main account. I started this Allie Starts a Cult account as a joke. But I think that the joke has come quite full circle because I did not expect the Allie Starts a Cult account to turn into me actually pulling people out of the New Age spirituality cult. Like, talk about the universe setting something up. Am I right, y'all? Literally, though, that was like unbelievable because it was a joke. Like, it was from this nurse that I had gotten into it with on my first account because she was making really inappropriate like jokes about medical abuse and about like killing fucking patients and about overdosing them with benzos. And I called her out and it turned into a big deal. And then she kept saying that I was like a cult leader. So I started a backup account just as a joke to like spite her. And now look where we are. It's something that needs to be done. The response has been phenomenal. And even if only one person told me that I had saved their life, which it's been, I should seriously go through all the comments and all the messages and all the DMs. I don't want to like guesstimate how many people. But even if it was only one person, I would still keep going. Like, this is so fucking important to me. And it's not about going after Madison or going after Alex. It's about teaching people how to not get abused in fucking real time. Like, I just need to do things that are more calm for my nervous system. So I don't want to be involved in TikTok drama all the time. It's exhausting. I get like agitated easily. I'm autistic. I don't have like a dial tone like we don't have like a volume dial when we get irritated. Like, autistic people are 0 to 100. I have a really hard time not reacting. I'm getting better. But it's also been a fascinating fucking case study in spiritual narcissism. And I would love to know what trauma has actually happened in Madison's life so I could make a more educated opinion about what's really happened here. Like, kind of like Alex, I'm starting to feel like she is actually dealing with narcissism, like, or had a really narcissistic parent, or just has like a propensity for that because some sort of complex PTSD that leans more on the narcissistic side. Because to like keep going like this when people tell you over and over again, like, it takes a certain kind of person to not be able to reflect like this. So she has to be very, very, very traumatized. Or this is just like a huge performance and she can't break character at this point, and she has reflected and she has to kind of just keep going with this character. But my guess is she's just so deep in spiritual delusion because she wants to be special so bad because she's a traumatized person. She wouldn't be attracted to this work if she wasn't unbelievably traumatized, because she wasn't discerning enough to understand that Abraham Hicks, just like me, she wasn't discerning enough to not fall into this. And she has fallen so far that she will say that she respects people and she wants to be loving and she wants to be open to everyone's opinions, and she talks about all this stuff, but then she openly supports Kanye West. She openly says that Gabby Hanna is the GOAT when all these people are saying racist, anti-Semitic, horrible, horrible things and are clearly like, and she openly supports them. I can't imagine having this kind of a digital footprint. Like, it's, what I'm trying to say is she's so deep that this isn't even a fair fight. And it hasn't been since the beginning. And it hasn't been a fight. I haven't been trying to fight. But this hasn't even been a fair argument because she is absolutely fucking deluded. Oops, it's true. Absolutely fucking deluded. And I cannot stand her performative bullshit anymore. I can't stand the red eyes. I can't stand that she won't just be authentic. You never see her just like off the cuff making a video or saying, God, like, if I had said 1/10 of the things that she has said on the internet, I would never show my face again. Ever. Like, that's why I'm starting to believe that she is also on that scale, or she has fallen so deep, which is another interesting case study, that like, if you have complex PTSD or whatever, or you have a propensity to this stuff and you get involved in new age spirituality, look how far it can take you. And the internet has emboldened these people into the far alt-right, new age, MLM, spiritual white lady shaman guru bullshit like we've never seen. And people like Alex and people like Quantum Shifting can start literal internet cults, and it goes under the radar because they're not all out with quantum shifting in California. If she had 300,000 people or even 500 people out there with her doing her practices, fasting, eating vegan, like all that stuff, doing all this quantum shifting, it would be a very different situation. But because it's on the internet, it's okay. We're still in the wild, wild west of the internet. There's no regulations. There's no legal involvement. People can do whatever the fuck they want and get away with it on the internet. And it's really scary. And she can say all day, and Alex can say all day, oh my God, I have nothing to do with people going to psych wards. Really? You have an online cult. And I know that's ironic to say when my username is Allie Starts a Cult, but we established what that's about. But it's serious. It's really serious. But I would just like to fucking say that this was never even an argument. This was never a discussion. This was never a back and forth. And that's why it's so fucking insulting for Madison to say, like, let's go live and let's have a really good talk. Oh, really? After you fucking ignored me for like 4 months, were really ableist, taunted me with a bunch of shit, tried to make me look really bad. Like, all this stuff wouldn't just be real for 5 fucking seconds. Then you come into my comments, start this shit again, because this all started up again because of her. She came into my comments randomly the other day saying some weird ass shit. So I called her out for it, and then she just started exposing herself more and more and more. She comes into my comments taunting me about the science. Absolutely taunting me. Says, oh, I'd love to see you make a video about it. I would love to see it, laughy face. And I said, gladly. So I go and I get a 5-minute video about quantum entanglement and the Nobel Prize 2022, where this physicist brilliantly explains that that has nothing to do with quantum healing. And that all these spiritual people who are saying that the Nobel Prize proves all of their law of attraction, Joe Dispenza, Abraham Hicks, your thoughts create your reality bullshit, it doesn't relate to that. It doesn't. And she has a whole video about how quantum healing is not real. And she explains the science, and it makes perfect sense. And I'm not trying to be a buzzkill, because this universe is magical. But when we don't work in reality with the magic that is here, and we ignore that, and we get lost in New Age spirituality and fake science and escapism and quantum mysticism, people get fucking hurt. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to ruin people's hope. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I know Madison isn't just going to say like, oh wow, everything I thought was wrong. I mean, I know she's not going to say that, but like the stuff she does do is so manipulative and so scary. I have to call it out. And maybe in 10 years, she will be like, oh damn, Allie was right. And this wasn't even an argument. There never was an argument. Like, just because I made 100 more videos about it, it's because I'm autistic and I have a special interest and I'm real and I want to explain and I'm teaching people. And I need to defend myself, and this is how you heal trauma. You guys want to talk about healing trauma? This is how you fucking heal trauma, according to actual trauma experts. Like people who deal with the brain and complex PTSD, which is what I've been asking quantum shifting or Madison to fucking care about this entire fucking time. Do you know how you heal trauma? Like the trauma that I went through with the New Age spirituality community and all this spiritual abuse and all these shamanic women that treated me like absolute dog shit and blamed me for all my autism and all this shit. How do I heal all of the spiritual abuse that I have experienced, not only from New Age spirituality, but from growing up in a religious cult? I was also part of this pipeline. I don't know how Madison grew up like religion wise, but Alex grew up in a Christian cult just like me. And the pipeline from Christianity, Mormonism, things of that nature, to New Age spirituality, to the far alt-right is so strong. And Madison and Alex are literally swimming in the far alt-right, supporting Kanye West, and Alex supporting Alex Jones and being a Sandy Hook denier. But they are very fucking openly far alt-right. And it's funny because I would really like to know if either of them consider themselves in the far alt-right. I would love to know if they've made that connection, or if they believe that. Because when people ask her about anti-Semitism, she's like, it's not. And what's so interesting about, okay, first of all, what's so interesting about quantum shifting is how poised she stays, and it's really creepy to me. Like, it's so creepy to me. At this point, it's driving me fucking nuts. Can you let your mask slip, but it's in the weirdest ways. The fact that you have zero impulse control when it comes to like the comments that you leave me shocks me. Like, if I if I said some of the things you did, I would be so fucking embarrassed, Madison. Like, do you get embarrassed? Like, this is when sociopathic people like start to seriously confuse you. Like, how they start to fuck with your head because they stay so poised and so confident, and they keep it together, and they never let you know that they're real, because they have to stay in control and they have to stay in power. And like, she has to keep up this facade that she's unbothered, but you're not unbothered. You wouldn't have fucking said the shit you did in my comments the other day if you were unbothered. Like, it's unbelievable. It's actually kind of pathetic. It's so clearly a fucking show. And what it is trauma. And I shouldn't call you pathetic, but when somebody has been so fucking mean to you, like, and you can think that I'm being mean to you, Madison. I'm not being mean to you. I'm asking you to do your business in an ethical way, and to look at what you're telling people, and to examine if you're hurting people. That's not being mean. And that's very much an emotional abuse tactic. To say that somebody who's coming to you with a rational argument that's been harmed, for you to say, like, I come to you with rational questions, I'm kind, that kind of stuff, and you're like, I don't have to answer any questions, and you are very disrespectful, and you're actually crazy. And even if you admit that I'm right, then you have to twist it into that I don't present information the right way. And since you never break, you do in the comments and in little ways, but like, since in your videos you never snap, you always have that performance on, that soft voice, the duality of man. Like, I want to see how you actually fucking talk. Oh wait, I've seen it, because your sister came on my page and was making fun of my physical appearance, which I've never gone there, Madison. She started making fun of my physical appearance, and then I found an old video of you like chugging fucking, I don't know, White Claws or something, and it was very weird to see you out of character. Probably in your Herbalife days, am I right? Joe Dispenza also was trained as a con artist before he became a con artist, so I could see you guys like having some weird ass little love affair. Couldn't you? I could genuinely see that. You and Joey D. Twin flames. The eternal flame. Can you please break that fucking character? I'm so annoyed. What are you gonna do? Do that forever? That's just who you are now? What happens when you have clients that end up like actually passing away because you make promises you can't fucking keep? You're just gonna explain that away? You're gonna blame the victim? You just blamed me yesterday. And getting back to my point, yeah, you just called me a victim again yesterday, and you wonder why I worry about you working with clients. You're like, just even without all my disabilities and all the things that are wrong with me that don't make me a victim at all, and exactly why New Age spirituality made me feel like a victim for so many years. The fact that you would call someone a victim, like, take away the ableism and all of that stuff, which is awful. But even if I was just someone who was raising concerns about New Age spirituality, or someone who had been really harmed by it, and you call me, you're literally just a hater and a victim because you chose victimhood, and I'll never be able to show you the magic of this universe. Tell me what kind of response that is other than just a fucking narcissistic response, Madison. I have a feeling that maybe this is like a mother wound. That's the hit I'm getting, Madison. Is that this is maybe your mother or something is kind of like this as well. A little bit cruel, pretty narcissistic, those kind of things. I don't know. That's just a guess. Just something, just like an energetic hit. See, that's the hit I'm getting. So tell me if it's right or tell me if it's not. But I'm so sick of people getting hits. You can get a download when it works for you, but she's going to be really offended by that download. And it could be right, it could be not. That's the whole point. People get downloads all the time. Sometimes they're spot on. And sometimes they're totally fucking wrong. And that's why we can't tell people that quantum mysticism means quantum physics, and that it always works like that, and that the universe is a computer, and that you have to get in with the algorithm of your mind, because that's not how it fucking works. It's random, it's chaos. And yeah, there's a lot of synchronicities here, and there's a lot of amazing, crazy, beautiful things that happen. But it's not an algorithm, and you don't get exactly what you put in. It doesn't come right back to you, and we all fucking know that. And this is how it hurts people. Let's get back to how this heals trauma, okay? So according to the CPTSD experts, when you have any sort of trauma, so I have a ton of religious and narcissistic abuse in my life, especially as an autistic person, but I grew up in a cult. And then I got into New Age spirituality for over 10 years, yada, yada, yada. I joined multiple cults there. I'm going to get into my story next. Finally, after I get all this stuff out of my system. One of the ways that you can start to heal this kind of stuff and help your brain re-regulate and those kind of things, and help your body not go into flashbacks as much and not get emotional flashbacks as much and handle the world in a totally different way, is by standing up to this. You stand up to this. You rewrite the script. I'm not 10 years old in a religious cult anymore, getting abused by random women in the church and being gaslit and told all this bullshit about heaven and hell and being scared and being told that these are the secrets of the universe. No, I'm 34. I've done years of research and self-search and now scientific research and all of this stuff, and I'm not gonna let some random 27-year-old mean girl from fucking California who just found this shit a couple years ago and thinks she's fucking God's gift to the fucking planet, when really all she's doing is laying a wasteland of bullshit and spreading so much harm and pain and confusion for her own ego and own gain, because she hasn't dealt with her own fucking trauma, because spiritual healing doesn't actually help CPTSD in some ways, which is exactly why I'm trying to talk to her about this stuff. I'm not going to let another traumatized little person try to traumatize me. I'm going to stand up to it. And this helps heal me. This helps heal other people. And this helps give Madison a little bit of a fucking wake-up call. Because if you're actively fucking doing harm, then yeah. And if you've been told over and over and over again, not just by me, don't act like I'm the only one calling you the fuck out, Madison. One of the most famous accounts on TikTok made a fucking amazing little music video about you, and it was one of the most satisfying things I've ever fucking seen. You've made a fucking fool of yourself. I didn't do that. you are blaming me for you making a fool of yourself. Did you know that? Because it's fucking embarrassing. And you don't get to put the blame on me. That's what that whole video was about. You've barely been posting since all the Kanye shit. And then conveniently, you start some shit with me and then try to act like I'm the one who's made you look bad in front of all these people. After you've been spewing horrendous bullshit all over the internet for I don't know how long. I only found you a couple months ago. So many fucking people have asked you to stop and told you that you're being absolutely fucking delusional and you're hurting people and you're encouraging scary shit. And you have been like, and you're appropriating so much. So much. If you're not white, then fucking say it. You never answer anything. Are you white? Like, are you allowed to do some of these practices you're doing? Because people scream in your comments all the appropriation and you don't care. Why? Because you're not practicing real spirituality, Madison. You're not. You got indoctrinated into a new age white person cult. And it's fucking sad. But this is exactly what happens when people can't be discerning. They don't understand what complex PTSD is. They don't understand their own brain. Maybe you are neurodivergent. Like, you are the person that I'm making videos for, babe. Do you get that? You are the person I'm making videos for. You didn't have discernment. You couldn't regulate yourself and pull yourself out of a dangerous fucking pipeline. In fact, you got so deep, so hard that now you somehow have fucking convinced yourself that you think it's appropriate to charge people $333 for an hour of your time for quantum healing. What the fuck is quantum healing? And why have you taken that off your website? Why did you change things? Because people called you out? What the fuck is quantum healing? Because I tried quantum healing for years. I did quantum healing hypnosis sessions. I did all of the quantum healing with Joe Dispenza. I did it all. And I seriously thought it was science. And that's why when we first started with all of this drama, I tried to be kind and I said, hey, I didn't understand this stuff either when I was peddling all this stuff. And now I understand this about the brain and you could be doing a lot of harm. Like, do you care? And you know what you told me? You said, I understand what you're saying. This is one of our first interactions. You were like, yeah, I don't care. I have that screenshot, so don't even fucking try to act like I don't. I have that screenshot, so. You were like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care. And I was like, perfect. That's what really like sparked my shit with you. If you had even like responded with an ounce of kindness in that first stitch, like this would have never continued. And the only reason that it's still continuing is because you are the fucking bully, Miss Madison Vanderweeb, or whatever the fuck your name is. May the odds be ever in your favor. You also took that off your website. Also, please, can we talk about the book that you fucking didn't publish, or I don't know, your ebook? What was that? What was that? Because that wasn't a book, first of all, and I'm not paying $10 to look at bullshit that you plagiarized and regurgitated from Joe Dispenza. What the fuck? Your book has appropriation in it? Like, it's just... Did you actually think you did something? I don't even have to read it. Oh, and then the end. You didn't... Okay. I'm pissed, Madison. And I think it's finally time to talk about how ridiculous all this shit is. So I'm just gonna vent. What the fuck is your book? Truly. What is it? It's like a slap in the face. It's seriously a slap in the face, and it's the perfect representation of how you feel about spirituality. slapstick, whitewashed, appropriated, regurgitated Joe Dispenza bullshit. You guys get to steal ancient practices and ancient things, twist them in your favor, make money off of them, hurt people with the twisted version of it that makes promises it can't keep. You guys have ruined faith, ruined real spirituality, ruined real connection with the earth because you think that you're the only fucking thing in it. And you think you're the only fucking thing that matters in it. And you think that you can control it, which you can't. And we can prove that with fucking science. Oh, weird, I don't like that fireplace. And you didn't even spell hygiene right. You have a section called spiritual hygiene, didn't spell that right. I mean, how does that happen? Truly. Like, it's sloppy as fuck. And it just shows me how much you don't really care. I don't know, that just shocked me. And when somebody pointed that out, I about fell on the fucking floor. I'm not gonna lie. Number 2, the end, of course, another nebulous perfect thing from you, another word salad soup, is it says the conclusion, and then it just says there is no conclusion. Of course, there's no conclusion, Madison. How nice. Just like you get to explain away any harm you do because there's duality. Duality will never cease. Just like you get to explain away all the bullshit you do with your movie quotes, even though at the same time you say that everybody who's in the movies is a blood-sucking vampire who isn't really alive and is a clone and lives in a space tube. But you want to also quote movies and use media to prove that none of us know what's really fucking happening here, only you guys. Like, it's a literal fucking joke. I'm sorry. I cannot believe that I was so deep into this stuff for so long, but it doesn't make people stupid. This is what traumatized people do. But what the fuck was that book? Like, I am so stressed about writing a book that's so good and that's so important and that's not plagiarized and that's perfect and that's all original and that people, I'm so concerned. And you're out here just plagiarizing the fuck out of all these people. Just like, hey, y'all, yeah, pay me $10 for this bullshit information and I don't really care. And like, you promote it in such a fucking sketchy way. Oh yeah, the way you promoted your ebook was after you told everyone that they're too stupid to understand and not spiritual enough to understand why you made anti-Semitic comments. Oh, right. That was the video where you promoted your book. Yeah, which is none of your fucking information, and it's a bunch of trash. Throw it in the fucking trash. Like, God, that feels good to say. It does. It feels really good. Because I'm not going to get abused by these assholes anymore. And I'm going to start putting my work out. Because, like, people like me care so much that we don't get important work out. And people like her don't give a fuck. And they end up being weirdly successful. And then they think that, like, proves that the universe is on their side. That doesn't prove shit. That proves that you can manipulate people. And then you're going to get shown that the universe doesn't give a shit about you at some point. You'll get sick, a family member will get sick, something will happen, you'll lose your career, one of your clients will fucking kill themselves, their family will blame you and take you to court, something's gonna fucking happen. Like, seriously, because that's life. Something is gonna happen, just like what happened with Alex and why she's fucking spiraling. She lost her huge account because she can't reflect, she can't keep her fucking mouth shut, she can't be kind to people, she can't care about her followers or what she's spewing on the internet, and she lost her big account. And now she can't fucking handle that the universe did that to her, so she's fucking spiraling because the universe didn't do that to her. Because that's not how the universe works, and we all fucking know it, if you really think about it. We know that our brains aren't magnets. We know that not all prayers are answered. We know that you cannot heal things with your fucking mind. If people get better sometimes when they meditate, if people get healthier when they add in different practices, okay, but there is no fucking way to say that quantum healing is real. And I have the actual science to prove that now, and it is so fucking satisfying. Okay, I guess I just needed to get a lot of that out and vent, but